Okay, we'll go ahead and get started here in a few minutes. If I get everybody to take their seats, we'll get started with tonight's event. All right, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight to our 25th annual Esto Perpetua Awards. We'll get some introductions going here to recognize the folks that we have tonight. Thank you for all the winners that came tonight to receive their awards. Always glad to see you and appreciate all the hard work that you've done for us. So we'd like to acknowledge our visitors tonight that we have. We have Governor Little, Brad Little for the state, our governor of the great state of Idaho, Brad. And our First Lady, Teresa Little. Teresa. And Representative Bundy is here tonight with us. And I don't know, did Senator Lint make it? And how about Senator Just? There we go. Thank you for coming tonight. And Representative Horman, we're here today. Thank you for coming. And then we have some directors here tonight. Director Alex Adams, I don't know if he made it tonight. And Lori Wolf, Director Lori Wolf, did she make it? And how about Steve Bailey? Did Steve Bailey make it? If not, okay. There we go. So with that, we'll go ahead and introduce our Board of Trustees for the Idaho State Historical Society. We have 7 trustees that are appointed by the governor to oversee the board of this self-governing board. And we actually have most of them all lined up against the wall there. We have Marianne Arnold. She's from Boise. And Jim Johnston from Pocatello. Dr. Cheryl O'Brien, and she's from Idaho Falls. And Dr. Amy Canfield, and Lewiston. And our newest member is Justin Vipperman, and he's from Twin Falls. And then we have myself. I'm Bill Battici, and I'm from Emmett, and I'm the current chair. And Cheryl is our vice chair. Oh, there's Don. You gotta have a seat. Don Peschner, and he's from up in Coeur d'Alene. Thanks, Don. Good to see you. We want to thank our Foundation for Idaho History that actually makes this event possible. They raise the funding for a lot of the events that the society does, and they're here tonight. Who is here tonight would stand up if we could see our Foundation for Idaho History. We're in the same hats. There we go. Carol Hoytle. Jessica back there. And Marianne Arnold is actually the chairman of that. So with that, thank you for everyone for coming. This marks the 25th anniversary of the Idaho State Perpetua Awards, and so tonight we thought we'd change it up a little bit, and we're recognizing the support groups that support history in Idaho. We're there to help preserve, promote, and educate Idahoans in the state history, and this year's event embodies the accumulation of about 25 years of Esto Perpetua Awards. And so tonight we're recognizing those groups and organizations that support history in Idaho. Now, usually we have individuals and groups that come, but for the 25th anniversary we thought we'd change it up a little bit, and we truly want to recognize you that really support the group and help. Without you, it wouldn't be possible to do all that heavy lifting, as we would say, to keep things going. And with that, I'm going to cut mine short, and we're going to turn this over. Oh, I'm sorry. Another change tonight is that we have a new MC tonight, and that's going to be our new MC over here is Neil. And oh my goodness, Neil, where are we at here? Neil Squires, almost lost it, Neil. Neil, also on the Foundation for Idaho History. He's going to be our MC tonight, and I know he's going to do a great job. Give a little bio on Neil. Neil is president and branch manager of Zion's Bank here in Boise, and a board member of the Foundation for Idaho History. Neil is a 4th-generation Idahoan who has served on the board of the Foundation for Idaho History for the last 5 years, and is currently serving as the board's vice president. Banker by day, he is a father. He has banker by day, and his father has 3 three loves: jamming on his guitar, so I think he might give us a solo tonight maybe, coaching Babe Ruth softball, and helping promote the stories that Idaho's history is unique and special. And Neil, we really thank you for stepping in tonight and being our MC. We're very honored to have you to do that for us. And before Neil comes up, we're going to turn it over to our First Lady, Teresa Little, to give us some opening remarks. So, First Lady.
Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, and esteemed awardees, today we gather here to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Esto Perpetua Awards program of the Idaho State Historical Society. This year, our program honors the power of partnerships in preserving and promoting the story of our great state. The Esto Perpetua Award Program was created in 1999. Since that time, the Idaho State Historical Society has recognized the inspiring efforts of more than 200 individuals and organizations throughout the Gem State. The work of an Esto Perpetua awardee reflects dedication, commitment, and passion for Idaho and its history. As I reflect on my time presenting these awards since 2019, I am taken by the breadth and depth of the people and organizations across our state who have given so much in preserving and sharing Idaho's unique narrative. Their passion for history has allowed us to explore the stories of our ancestors, to understand the challenges they faced, and to appreciate the legacy they left behind. Idaho, with its breathtaking landscapes and vibrant communities, has a story that reflects time immemorial. Our story is a tale of resilience, pioneering spirit, and the unwavering determination of its people. Our state's history is woven with threads of bravery, innovation, and unwavering love for the land we call home. Over the past 25 years, our Esto awardees created bridges to the past that gave us context and a deeper appreciation of our state and who we are today. These awardees are listed in your program. Let's take a moment and share a round of applause for their devotion to our state and ensuring that its story stands perpetually. I am pleased now to focus on our 2024 awardees. Tonight, we honor partner organizations for their work in preserving, promoting, and educating Idahoans on the state's history. So why is it important for us to think deeply about the power of partnerships? An old proverb proclaims, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Partners provide expertise, resources, and tenacity. Coming together, finding shared values, staying the course, and realizing success are some hallmarks of partnerships. The Idaho State Historical Society is committed to creating and sustaining meaningful partnerships that give voice to unknown stories, coalesce resources for broader impact, and build strong, resilient relationships that connect us across time, grand geography, cultures, and multiple disciplines. Each of the awardees we celebrate today has played a vital role in understanding and interpreting Idaho stories and ensuring their resonance. Through their work, they remind us of the diversity of our communities and the remarkable accomplishments that have shaped us. Their work reflects the power of film, the inspiration of art and creativity, the resilience of our landscape and parks, of respite and renewal. Stories etched in stone, the changing built environment that surrounds us, places of deep memory, transformational learning opportunities, and tales gained through traveling. Their work, on behalf of all Idahoans, embodies perseverance, honesty, integrity, and authenticity, and gives us pause and places to think without dictating what to think. For our Idaho tribal partners, we are ever so grateful that you have allowed us the opportunity to co-create and share knowledge of your history with Idahoans who we know are highly interested in and respectful of your journey. We recognize the exceptional partners of the Idaho State Historical Society whose collaborative work over time has left an indelible mark on our beloved state, challenging Idahoans to cherish their heritage, to stand proudly as Idahoans, and to contribute their own chapters to the ever-evolving story of our state. As the First Lady, it is my privilege to stand before you and celebrate the profound achievements of these remarkable organizations. On behalf of the Governor and the great state of Idaho, I extend my sincerest congratulations to each and every awardee. Your invaluable contributions have not only illuminated Idaho's path, allowing us to forge ahead with a deeper understanding of who we are and the remarkable heritage we share, but strengthen relationships that are essential to the sustainable preservation and development of our state and its cultural, environmental, artistic, and historical resources. May your work continue to just inspire us all, advancing knowledge and guiding our steps toward a spirited, respectful, and informed future. Thank you, and congratulations once again.
Thank you, First Lady. So yes, I am your MC for this evening. My name is Neil Squires. So I've got big shoes to fill. You might remember that for 14 years, Doug Petcash was your MC and did an amazing job. In fact, I got a chance to rewatch last year's, and I thought, I'm going to try that. We'll see how this goes. He's pretty amazing. So I do want to share, though, that I work for Zions Bank. I am a little bit of a local TV celebrity as well. I just want to share that. So about a year ago, the bank looked for volunteers to be in a commercial for the bank. And I said, I can do that. I'll be happy to do that. So a few of us went down for the shoot downtown at the Zions Bank Tower, and they had all kinds of lines for us. I did every line that could be in the commercial. Most of them were fairly long. They were, 10 seconds, 5 seconds long. And they said, in about 3 weeks, this TV commercial will be released, and you're going to be a star. We're going to create an IMDb page just for you, Neil. Get you an agent. Okay. Fast forward, a few weeks go by, they said, here's the first drop for the Zions Bank commercial. I gather everybody in my office around, and we watch it, and I'm not in it. I thought, okay, terrible audition. I'm going to be a banker. Oh, well. Then they email me like the next day, a Monday, it was a Friday, Monday they email me and say, there's more commercials coming for those of you who were not in the commercial. The second one will drop this week. Second one drops. We all gather in my office again. Moment of truth, here we go. I'm not in that one either. And I'm thinking, okay, this is a sign I'm definitely done. So then finally they say, okay, our third and final commercial is gonna drop. Here it comes. We all gather around one more time, and at the very end, there I am. And guess what the line was? Bank with us. That was it. So if you've seen that commercial, it's out there. That's me. Bank with us. Jan, I hope you did not see that commercial because you wouldn't have asked me to do this tonight if that was the case. So I am hoping they update my IMDb page now with this MC for the 25th Esto Perpetua Awards. That's amazing. Since 1999, you know, I'm sure things have changed in 25 years, but one thing that has not changed is the passion for the individuals in this room. For all the awardees over the many years, I believe it's over 200 that have been recognized. And tonight is special. Tonight we'll be recognizing partners, organizations who have done so much to promote, preserve Idaho. So thank you for coming out tonight. It is my honor to start out by introducing somebody who really needs no introduction. But as the Idaho State Historical Society Executive Director and the state's Historic Preservation Officer, we all know who I'm talking about, this wonderful individual will now come up here and will introduce the first of our awards tonight to some special members of our state, the tribes who have done so much to help promote and share the history with us, which we appreciate. So I will turn this over to Jan, and let's welcome her up to the stage to start our program off.
I was just whispering to Neil that I did not see the ad, but I'm going to go look for it. So it was a great story. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm Janet Gallimore, for those of you who I don't know, which I don't think there are very many people. The State Historical Society, as you all know, preserves and promotes Idaho's history, and we're comprised of an extraordinary system of historic and cultural resources, including this beautiful state museum that you're sitting in, the State Archives, the State Records Center, the State Historic Preservation Office, and historic sites throughout our state. So we're all delighted to be here tonight with you. Welcome to our special 25th anniversary of the Esto ceremony. And it's a great milestone in our agency's history. I want to thank the Governor and First Lady, our trustees, our foundation members, our awardees, our special guests, our legislators, and everyone who's here this evening. Special thanks to our staff who make all of this work remarkably beautiful, and especially Tricia Hoffman for her vision for this event, which was to really focus on partners, because without all of us working together, this doesn't work, because we all collaborate, we share resources, and we stick together, no matter under what circumstances, and we find the path to yes, always. I want to echo Teresa's thoughts about the longevity of this program, its amazing reach across decades and disciplines, and how it touches the hearts of people throughout our state who are committed to not only sharing our history, but saving it and making sure that it's extraordinarily relevant at the community level. As we begin, I am really most honored to share information about our long and cherished partnership with Idaho tribes. The Coeur d'Alene tribe, Kootenai tribe, Nez Perce tribe, Shoshone-Bannock tribes, and Shoshone-Paiute tribes are being honored for their exceptional partnership and dedication to working collaboratively with us to educate the public about Idaho's tribal history. And when working with our tribal partners, we wanted to share that it's our practice and commitment, first of all, to seek permission and then co-create tribal content for our exhibitions, services, and projects. Our relationships mean the world to us. They're very respectful, intentional, and paramount to our team. Our partnership with Idaho tribes spans decades and several significant initiatives. And those are outlined in your program. I wanted to highlight a few for special emphasis. I think it's fitting to start with this amazing state museum. for that powerful and heartening partnership to co-create the tribal content here. To the best of our knowledge, this is the only place and only museum in our state that features the story of all Idaho tribes together in its interpretation. And this museum would not be the museum it is today without such a remarkable partnership. First, we were invited to a chairman's council meeting, and we asked permission. This was when there was, the original museum was still here. The museum was still in vision mode. We didn't even have a drawing. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to make the tribal story in Idaho the heart and soul of this museum. But we knew we had to ask permission first, and so we did do that at a chairman's council meeting. And once the chairman all said yes, they agreed as well to assign official liaisons to us to work with. And we worked continuously over 4+ years with our tribal liaisons through discussions and meetings, conversations with our elders, and 2 all-tribal summits to develop the stories that you see in the museum tonight. Hopefully you'll have a chance to see that. We also met in the homelands to make sure that we were meeting out in the community with our partners. In those meetings, we discussed artifact selection, photography, we refined those narratives that we worked hard on together, and we captured recordings of the origin stories that the tribal elders and the chairman and the councils allowed us to use. We captured those stories in English and in the traditional tribal language, and that's part of our Origin Stories Theater here at the museum. Stories about our tribes and Native American individuals are purposely incorporated throughout the overall tribal narrative showcased in the museum, beginning with the Origin Stories Theater, and then up to and including the roles each tribe plays in our contemporary economy and culture and modern-day tribal land stewardship. Our visitors report that because of their learning here in the Idaho State Museum, they feel a greater respect for Idaho's Native people. Moving on to some other projects, we've also worked with our tribal partners on special traveling exhibitions to ensure that our state's representation in those traveling exhibitions include local voice. And such was the case with the Roots of Wisdom Native Knowledge Shared Science exhibition, which integrated Idaho tribal voices and collections into a national traveling exhibit that showcased traditional tribal knowledge and contemporary science. That participation amplified the exhibition through Idaho-specific cultural wisdom and collections. Our partners were very generous with their time, both in exhibition development and programming that illuminated the tribe's presence today, but also rich wisdom from time immemorial. Most recently, Idaho tribes played a leadership role in the recent American Association for State and Local History National Conference that was hosted by our agency in September. Their participation included a role on the National Program Committee as keynote presenters and program participants, and that presence was respected, visible, and essential to the conference's success. AASLH reported that the Boise Conference was one of the most well-attended and highly rated in the organization's history. And finally, we are actively engaged in the process to completely reimagine Idaho's historic highway markers. I'm sure many of you see those in your communities and know of them. There are 280 markers, and you're going to hear more about that program later. But that's a partnership between the Idaho State Historical Society and the Idaho Transportation Department, and that partnership began in 1957. We're working now with our tribes to comprehensively review, change, and enhance all of that marker content so that the tribal language is meaningful, accurate, and told through their lens, making sure that we have a narrative that is about our tribes, their heritage, and significant sites that everyone can be very proud of. We're most humbled and honored by our partnership with Idaho's tribes. The recognition that we share with them tonight pays homage to their history, their generosity of spirit, and the mutual respect and trust that I believe exemplify the bonds between us. So we're going to invite each representative from our tribes up to share some words and receive their Esto Perpetua Award for 2024. And the first chairman that I would like to call up is Coeur d'Alene Vice Chairman James for his comments. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Hemi James, and I'm the Vice Chairman of the Coeur d'Alene Tribe. I'm honored to be able to represent my nation in a celebration of the collaboration that we have with this great organization. Through collaborations as this and partnerships with yourselves and your organizations, the different tribes that are here, the different governmental agencies, is how we truly can tell the proper history of this place known as the state of Idaho. Because no history on this continent called North America can be told without including the indigenous people, the original residents of this. When we finally settle down and we have open communication and open dialogue and partnerships, that's when we can inform and educate the general public on what true history is. And I think we get muddled up in trying to omit some of the history that has taken place. And I think that does not do us justice as a species, as the human beings, unless we are truthful with ourselves. Some of the greatest advice that I was ever given was you cannot grow within your comfort zone. And if we want to grow this relationship between the indigenous people of this land and the state government and your local organizations, we have to be truthful with each other. And sometimes that's a little bit uncomfortable. But that is how we can truly get to the place that was envisioned for us as human beings. And that's to play our part in this beautiful web of the natural world. And if we can tell the proper history and the proper truth, then we can grow and enlighten ourselves in order to play our role in that. The Coeur d'Alene Tribe has always been a willing partner, sometimes to our detriment. But we still come back to it knowing that not only do we have something to offer, whether it's history or the environment or the natural world, but we understand that other organizations, other people have stuff to offer us. So we still come in with that open hand and those open ears. It's an honor today. I thank you for the privilege of taking a few seconds. I know everyone in the room always wonders when you give a tribal leader a microphone that we can rattle on too long sometimes. So I'll try to wrap it up. So thank you. I'm honored. Chairman Allen sends his regards. He's actually moving his daughter from Stanford to do her internship in Colorado. So I got the call to come down. So thank you very much.
I wanted to invite Nez Perce Tribe Vice Chair Ryan Oatman for his comments. Thank you.
Thank you. So introduction, I'll do it in my language. Wanik was Pitam, ka English name Ryan Oatman. I'm a direct descendant of Chief Looking Glass. I was just upstairs with Sarah. She took me around the exhibits, and Governor Little's wife. And she was telling me that they're planning on putting a peace pipe in one of their exhibits from Chief Looking Glass. I told her, well, I'm a direct descendant of Chief Looking Glass, so I thought that was really neat to start off tonight's event. With that, my parents are Kenny and Paula Oatman, and they're from the Kamiah community. My grandparents are Ron and Lois Oatman. And I am currently the vice chair of the Nez Perce tribe in my second term. I'm also a Boise State University Bronco, so where I received my master's in social work. The Nimi-Pu Nation, originally the Nimi-Pu people, occupied an area that included parts of present-day Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. And to this day, we still have our people in those states. So we have some on the Umatilla Reservation, and we have Chief Joseph Band people on the Colville Reservation. Our people are extremely resilient. Nimi-Pu Nation survived the settling of the United States and adapted to a changed world. The Nez Perce tribe's government included leaders for many aspects and their traditional life ways, such as fishing, hunting, warfare, and religion. Councils guided the decisions of each leader, and that's still true today. Our constituents are our tribal members, and they lead the 9 Nez Perce Tribal Executive Committee members with decisions. So my upbringing, was fortunate to be raised around a lot of elders. My grandparents raised me at a very young age when my mom was coming to Boise State University to get her bachelor's degree. That was in the 80s. So a few of my elders that I would like to recognize are Jimmy Mac McCormick, and he's one of the elders that helped preserve our Nimi-Pu language and also stick games. In our language, it's called Lokmit, and our tribe's been playing this for thousands of years. And I think the oldest artifact they said they found of a stick game set was like 10,000 years old. So we've been playing for a long time, and we're still playing in 2024. And all ages can play, from babies all the way up to our elders. The second elder that I wanted to recognize was my grandpa, Ron Oatman, and he taught me a lot about our treaties and our treaty rights. And he's the reason why we still go down to the South Fork to fish to this day. So we go every summer, usually the end of July and the beginning of August, to fish for salmon. And he tells us a lot of stories and names of places in our language. I'd also like to recognize Lee Bourgeau. She had just recently passed this year, and she preserved our language as well. And her big thing was our indigenous first foods and preserving those. And she always talked on our first foods, and also about our longhouse and our longhouse songs, our longhouse ways, our protocols for men and women. And when I was looking at the book, I noticed that Horace Axtell was in there. So Horace Axtell actually helped preserve our language too and our longhouse ways. And he also has a book out. It's called, or it's been out for a while. It's called A Little Bit of Wisdom. So he tells a lot of stories of his upbringing with his grandparents. But with my grandpa, like was mentioned before with the Coeur d'Alene vice chair, a lot of our history is not taught in Idaho history or textbooks. A lot of our history is taught through oral traditions. So my grandpa taught me a lot about my family's history. So his grandma actually survived the Nez Perce War at the age of 14. So she went through Big Hole, Bear's Paw. She made it all the way to Canada, and then she made it all the way back to Idaho. And she lived in Grangeville, Idaho. And her Indian name was Piena Halkpawat, and her nickname was Sunday. I don't know why they called her Sunday, but that was her nickname. But she was 14, and she survived all those wars, all the trauma, seen all the death at that young age. So I have 2 nieces that go to Lapwai High School. They're in 9th grade. And I tell them, like, you guys are complaining about TikTok and Snapchat. I go, you want to hear real stories of struggle. You need to, listen to Grandpa about his grandma and what she went through at your age. So her surviving is the reason why we're here today. And also, as I mentioned before, Chief Looking Glass, he fought, to live on the lands that he was on. He didn't want to move to the reservation, so he fought, all the way into Montana. And then I think he died at Big Hole in present-day Havre, Montana. But Because of my elders and my ancestors, I'm here standing today, still fighting for our treaty rights, not only in Idaho, but other states too, where our people were. And, we're starting to accumulate land now near present-day Joseph, Oregon, and Wallowa, Oregon, because that's where the 5 Wallowa bands were at. But I just want to thank the state of Idaho, though, for all the partnerships. We also signed the Good Neighbor Authority with the Forest Services, also to Governor Little for the highway pass that's coming along, should be done in a year. And we had a lot of deaths on that road, both tribal and non-tribal, so it was really important that we got that overpass going. So thank you, Brad Little, for that, Governor Little, really appreciate that. And we're also going to expand with our casinos and our gas stations and our economy. So with that, I just want to say thank you for this award. And Shannon Wheeler, our chairman, would have loved to have been here, but he's on delegation, and he told me at 3 p.m. yesterday, you need to go down to Boise, Ryan. We need someone to accept this award. So I left my home in Cul-de-sac, Idaho about 7 a.m. this morning and made it down. And I was very surprised to have the governor's wife take me on a tour today of the exhibit, so that was a very, very pleasant surprise. So thank you to the Idaho Historical Society, the Esto Perpetua Award, for honoring the Nez Perce tribe with this prestigious award, Katsiaya. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome Shoshone and Bannock Tribe's Vice Chairwoman Donna Thompson for her comments.
Good evening, everybody. I guess it's the Vice Chairman's night. First of all, I want to congratulate the other tribes, the other Idaho tribes, for this award. I think we're all very deserving of it. But hello, my name is Donna Thompson, and I am the Vice Chair of the Shoshone Bannock Tribe's Fort Hall Business Council. I'm honored to be here with all of you to accept this award on behalf of the tribe and all of our staff who contributed to working with many of you on several historical projects of importance to the tribe and the state of Idaho. Although they are not here today, I would like to recognize our Language and Culture Preservation Department. Velvet Racehorse was the voice of the Origins Creation Story exhibit. The late Luida Unger, one of our very precious and cherished tribal elders, and Randy L. Teton, our former public relations manager, were also instrumental in this project. Next, I would like to recognize Nolan Brown for his participation in the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry Roots of Wisdom traveling exhibit, and thank the Idaho Historical Society for making this exhibit free for the Return of the Boise Valley People event. So we thank you for that. We also are pleased to be included in the Idaho Roadside Historical Markers Project. Louise Dixie, our LCPD director, leads an amazing staff, and we are all very proud of every one of them. There are several projects that we have been able to contribute, and we do thank you for including our voice, our people, and our history in the work we do. As the original inhabitants of this state and country, we aim to ensure our stories are told by our own people in our own unique way. Many of our people were forcibly removed from the Boise area in the 1800s and marched to what we call home today. It means a lot to be able to return to our original homelands for special occasions such as today. Thank you to everyone at the Historical Society for facilitating these efforts alongside our staff, and it is a great pleasure to be here. Thank you.
I'd like to invite the Kootenai Tribe Chairwoman Jennifer Porter to the stage for her comments, please.
Gisukukit yet Jennifer Porter, Chairwoman. So one of us showed up tonight of the Kootenai Tribe. I actually have a meeting tomorrow, and somebody got wind that I was going to be in Boise. And they said, well, while you're there, we're getting some kind of award. If you want to stop by, they're going to be feeding you. I was like, okay, sure. Did not expect this. I mean, I have a great table, a whole Kootenai Tribe table, the music. I feel like I should be saying I thank the Academy for this award, but and Governor Little, had I known he was going to be here, good to see you. And I didn't bring any prepared speech or anything, but I'd like to say Idaho has come a long ways. I remember those fourth grade reading books, what they taught us about the four different, directions in the tribe and all that, and there was never the Kootenays in there. There was never Idaho tribes. And about 20 years ago, I remember the Historical Society coming and speaking with my mom, who was a former chairwoman, about changing that. And they gave us the opportunity to put our own history in those historical books. And I think they still use them today. And I know that because my oldest granddaughter is fourth grade, and she comes home one day and she's like, Grandma, you're in this book at school. And I was just like, oh my God. Okay, it was 20 years ago, so it was a better picture and I was a lot younger. But I'd like to thank the Historical Society for giving the tribes the opportunity to let us tell our true stories, our true history, share our knowledge. And on behalf of the Kootenai Tribe, thank you all. But I have to say too that Ronald Abraham, if you know him, you probably do, yeah. He's our historian. He's of the Abraham family, and he lives across the street from me. But he's my go-to. If I want to know a story, if I want to find out something, I will kind of like walk across the street and say, hey, Ronnie, what's up? And he'll ask me, are you going to record this? because we all have the phones. He doesn't like to be recorded. He doesn't like anything down, but I'm trying to tell him how important it is. So I'd like to thank him. Clara Abraham, his daughter, is the one that's with the museum and all the stories and everything, and she's the one who said, well, while you're down there, you can show up. So thank them too, and also in the book, I seen that Amy Trice's name is in there. Rest in peace, Amy. If you don't know the story of our little tribe, they made a movie, and she's in it. It's called The Forgotten War. And I like to close with this year, the 25 years, my little tribe of 69 people back then, 50 years ago, this September, declared war on the United States. So next year, watch the story, read the books, and you'll know another history of the Kootenai tribe. So thank you.
And now I'd like to invite Yvonne Powers, who's representing the Shoshone Paiute tribe. Thank you, to come to the podium.
I am neither a chairwoman or a vice chairman. I'm a council member. I am actually, this was very last minute, so forgive me for not having a prepared speech either. Chairman Brian Mason sends his regards from Duck Valley. He is actually preparing for a meeting with Senator Catherine Cortez Masto. She is visiting Duck Valley to have well, she's actually there to be our guest speaker for graduation tomorrow, for high school graduation. But she also is going to be meeting with the Tribal Business Council on a number of matters. So he wishes that he could be here, but he's not. I would also like to just recognize our business council. So besides Chairman Mason, there is Tribal Vice Chairman Arnold Thomas. There is Tribal Secretary Addie Parker, Tribal Treasurer Delia Abel, and then of course council members myself, Lindsay Manning, Brian Thomas, and why am I'm missing someone here. Excuse me? Oh, sorry, I thought you were trying to help me out. Anyway, I'm just going to go on here. So my name is Yvonne Powers. This is my second term being on the Tribal Business Council. My mother is Elizabeth Bendel. Elizabeth is she's a rancher out at Duck Valley. She retired from the federal government after 38 years of service, and she is my hero. She is Shoshone Paiute. She comes from the Dosawihi clan, or the White Knife clan. My father is San Carlos Apache. He hails from the Haki'a clan, or the Grinders clan. He's San Carlos Apache. I may have said that already. Native Americans are choosing to go back to the names that they call themselves, if you guys aren't aware of that. So for Shoshone Paiutes, we call ourselves Nui Numa. For San Carlos, they call themselves Inde. For people like my son, who is Crow, They are known as children of the large-beaked bird. They call themselves Absaloga, and the white man came along and totally murdered that. They call them Absorki. So you probably have heard of Absorki, Montana. That is meant to be Absaloga. My son has a cool Indian name. His Indian name is Baida Chikisa. That means does good things that show. I love that name. That is a very good name, a very powerful name, and I hope that my son lives up to that name. So far, he's doing good. Anyway, the creation story. The late Ted Howard is the narrator behind Shoshone Paiute's creation story in the auditorium next door, and he does such a beautiful job. We lost Ted here about a month ago, and our community is still reeling from that. And I also wanted to acknowledge our cultural department. I think that Alana Charles did a wonderful job in working with staff of the Historical Society, sharing a lot of our information. I'm not sure if Jade Rubidou helps out, but Jade is the new Cultural Resources Director. Jade graduated with a degree in anthropology from U of I. She is doing really great. She has an associate director. His name is Zach Charles. And they do a wonderful job together. And I want to just thank Janet Gallimore and everyone here at the Historical Society. They've been so wonderful and so very effective in helping tell our stories. And I wanted to, most of all, though, thank our Native people. Our Native people, without our Native people, we would not have any stories to tell. We would have no beautiful traditions or stories or culture, no arts, no crafts, no anything to share. So to all of our Native people, I say thank you. I'm not so very artistic, but I hope to be one day. So anyway, thank you so much. Thank you, Idaho Historical Society.
So I'd love to invite everyone for a round of applause for our tribal partners, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Jan. That was awesome. Thank you to all our tribal partners for making it. For many of you, that was a trip today or yesterday. You hustled down or over. Thank you so much. And Ryan, I would love to learn one of those stick games. So let's talk afterwards because that sounds really awesome. So the rest of the program will go like this. So I'll get the opportunity as the MC. I'm back. Thank you, Jan, for letting me come back up here. I didn't know for sure. I thought maybe I was done. But that was wonderful to get the opportunity to celebrate that partnership with each tribe. So moving forward, I will take a moment to introduce each award winner for this year's Esto Perpetua Award. These are, again, partner organizations who have done so much to contribute to preserving Idaho history, to telling our story, to preserving that story, and such a unique story as First Lady Teresa Little said. Such a unique story. I will introduce, you will come up and accept your award. We've asked 1 to 2 minutes to share a quick thank you, but as Doug said last year, you can take out the dash and you can make it 12, I guess. Just kidding, don't do that. 1 to 2 minutes, and then you will get your award from Jan and from First Lady Little, and then you'll proceed over here with the trustees. The tribe's figured it out. You'll go right over here for your picture with the governor and the First Lady, so thank you, tribal leadership, for setting a great example. So that's how we will do this. I get the honor of going through the first awardee, and I was worried I would go too slow, but now I will go fast, so we'll go through this. College of Idaho is our first awardee tonight for a 2024 Esto Perpetua Award. Founded in 1891. Yes. Come on, start coming up. College of Idaho, founded in 1891, is a private liberal arts institution located in Caldwell and is a proud sponsor and affiliate of the National History Day program for over 20 years. Great program. The college has generously contributed in various ways, including providing use of the campus facilities, supplying materials, offering on-campus services, assisting with the setup and takedown of events, engaging students and professors as judges. Have an opportunity to do that a few years ago, an amazing thing to do, and awarding 3 distinct scholarships to winning National History Day students. This enduring partnership with the Idaho State Historical Society highlights the College of Idaho's commitment to education and historical scholarship. Accepting the award tonight on behalf of the College of Idaho are co-presidents Doug Brigham and Jim Everett.
Thank you. It's a real honor. I'll try to be less than 2 minutes. It's a great tradition we have with History Day. Love the comments from our tribal members here. We need to teach all history. It's D-Day today. Some history is not very comfortable to talk about, but it all needs to be out there. We've got 2 of our students here. I'm Jim Everett, Doug Brigham, the other co-president, soon to be sole president of the college. Want to make special recognition of one of our history majors who graduated 2 weeks ago, Megan Gilbert, who is a Fulbright scholar and is a history and political economy major. Double major. Megan's on the way to Taiwan to teach English there for time for a while, and then we'll see what's next. But pay attention to Jose and Megan, great students of the College of Idaho and great citizens of the state of Idaho. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim, and I was never a scholar, so that's impressive. That's awesome. But I was a gentleman. It's all right. I couldn't resist. Our next awardee for a 2024 Esto Perpetua is the Friends of Minidoka. This is a philanthropic nonprofit partner with the, let's clap for them now. Let's clap for them now. Less of me, more of them. Partner for the Minidoka National Historic Site, an incarceration camp located in Jerome County. It's part of the National Park System and was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1979. That was a good year. In collaboration with the Idaho State Historical Society, Friends of Minidoka works to preserve and educate the public about the lessons and legacy of this wonderful and amazing historical site. Their joint programs include the annual commemoration day of the Day of Remembrance, the bringing of the Smithsonian Institution's Righting a Wrong exhibit to Idaho, screening of the documentary Betrayed, Surviving an American Concentration Camp, and the creation of the Minidoka Traveling Trunk, a resource used in classrooms across Idaho. These efforts are crucial in ensuring that the history and impact of the Minidoka site are remembered and understood. Accepting the award for Friends of Minidoka are Robin Achilles, Executive Director, and Neil King, First Superintendent of the Minidoka National Historic Site.
So I actually prepared a little bit longer comment, so I will go quickly. Deeply moved by wretched scenes of camp life, my heart mourns. This poem by Shizue Iwatsuki captures the deep pain she felt when she was forced to leave her home and was unconstitutionally incarcerated at the historic Minidoka War Relocation Center, along with 13,000 Japanese Americans from Alaska, Oregon, and Washington during World War II. Today, Minidoka National Historic Site, a unit of the National Park Service in Jerome, Idaho, serves as a reminder of what is considered by many legal scholars as one of the worst violations in civil liberties in our nation's history. Historic buildings, replica structures, interpretive exhibits, and cultural viewscape at Minidoka help visitors immerse themselves in history, walking the same paths and entering the same buildings as those who lived and worked at the camp 82 years ago. Shizue's poem is engraved in wood on the Issei Memorial and exhibit at the site. By reading these firsthand accounts and gazing out at the viewscape, we can start to feel how unjust policies made out of discrimination, hysteria, and a lack of political leadership can impact ordinary people in the Pacific Northwest and Idaho. As a nonprofit partner for Minidoka National Historic Site, Friends of Minidoka works to preserve, protect, and educate about the lessons and legacy of this unjust incarceration through public programs, research and scholarship, internships and fellowships, teacher trainings, and preservation and interpretation of the site. To learn more about our work, you can go to our website or read more in our program. In the program. We are truly honored to receive this award and thankful that the Idaho State Historical Society recognizes our work and how important it is for us to preserve and learn from this shared history. This award would not be possible without all of those who came before us. Those who fought for the preservation of the site, people like the Blackfoot Pocatello Japanese American Citizens League, Dr. Bob Sims, elected officials, historians, and preservationists, Emily Momahara, Ron James, Jim Azumano, to name a few, who helped establish Friends of Minidoka. Also, we owe so much to Neil King, who is standing here. Oh, there he is. There's Neil. Neil is the first superintendent of Minidoka National Historic Site. Neil's incredible leadership, ability to listen and understand the tragedy of this history, to connect with Minidoka survivors, descendants, and the wider Idaho community. He laid the foundation and infrastructure for a brand new historic site, helping it grow to what it is today. Our work today is possible because of the close partnership between Minidoka National Historic Site and Friends of Minidoka, but also all of our community partners, both individuals and organizations, like the Idaho State Historical Society, who help us share this story and support our work to preserve and protect the site. With so much development pressures on our state, We must continue to preserve and protect our cultural resources, and not just the artifacts on the ground, but also our cultural viewscapes. Finally, we would like to thank the board of Friends of Minidoka, including Janet Matsuogi-Keegan, who is here today, our staff, who are here. Also, two were former Idaho State Museum employees. And also National Park staff at Minidoka. And Wade Vegas, the current superintendent of the South Idaho Parks. And our National Park staff, they care for Minidoka each and every day. And we thank them for stewarding the site and the story for future generations. So thank you again.
Trustees, I think you're getting good at this. I think you're getting good. Nice. Okay, thank you so much, Friends of Minidoka. Our next awardee for 2024 Esto Perpetua is Hummel Architects. Originally established in Boise as Tortolot and Hummel in 1896, Hummel Architects has built a distinguished reputation over more than 128 years as the builders of Idaho. Their work is prominently featured throughout downtown Boise, the Treasure Valley, and across the state of Idaho. The Hummel family has had 3 generations begin and end their careers with this practice. Remarkable. Tonight, we are recognizing Hummel Architects for their commitment to preserving and sharing the firm's legacy and Idaho's architectural heritage. They have generously donated their comprehensive archives to the Idaho State Historical Society. These archives, yes. Thank you. These archives include original plans for significant structures, such as the Idaho State Capitol Building, the Egyptian Theater, St. John's Cathedral, amongst many others. Accepting the award, this says Mandy. Okay, okay, I want to make sure I got it. Mandy Bohm, principal with Hummel Architects. Okay, all right. Are you Mandy? Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Not Mandy. Good evening. My name is Brian Rapel. I'm a principal with Hummel Architects. Mandy, unfortunately, was feeling under the weather tonight, so at about 9 o'clock this morning, I decided it was time for me to pinch hit. Just wanted to take a moment here to briefly acknowledge I'm up here because of the legacy of the partners. I'm the 5th generation of owners of this incredible company, and thanks to 2007 Esto Perpetua awardee Charles Hummel, whose grandfather is the founding partner of Tortolot and Hummel, I stand before you today. So on behalf of Hummel Architects, I want to express our heartfelt gratitude to the Idaho State Historical Society for honoring our firm with such a prestigious award. Several years ago, under the insightful leadership of partner Scott Strubar, we began discussing the historical, cultural, and architectural significance of our company's archive, accumulated over our 128-year history. Those discussions culminated in February 2023 with the donation of the original drawings for the State Capitol Building to the Idaho State Historical Society and the State Archives. Since then, we've completed the remainder of the transfer of our entire archives, including drawings, architectural plans, renderings, and other documents to the archives. As architects deeply rooted in this community, we recognize the importance of preserving our past to inform our future, and we are honored to entrust these significant historical documents to the state's care. The donation of our collection to the state archives is a substantial contribution to preserving Idaho's architectural heritage. Scholars, historians, and architecture enthusiasts can now access these original documents to gain insights into the historical evolution of architectural practice and design in the region. By making these resources available to the public, we hope to foster a deeper appreciation for the intricate details and historical contexts that have shaped many of Idaho's iconic buildings. Our firm's comprehensive archive not only serves as an educational and cultural resource, but also as a source of inspiration for aspiring architects alike. The availability of such an extensive repository of architectural history is expected to spur an increased interest in Idaho's architectural landmarks. Most importantly, by ensuring these materials are properly archived and accessible, we aim to preserve and celebrate the architectural legacy of our state, ensuring it is studied and appreciated for many years to come. So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Hummel Architects. You know, I know Jan's kind of, she can play pranks, so I thought maybe you were pranking me on that one, Jan. That was good. So thank you again so much. Our next awardee for a 2024 Esto Perpetua Award is I-48. Let me tell you a little bit about I-48. I-48 is Idaho's longest-running film festival, celebrating its 21st consecutive year this month. The festival challenges filmmakers of all ages and experiences to create a short film in 48 hours, writing, producing, shooting, editing, scoring their film for a final public screening and awards ceremony. 48 hours. That's amazing. 5 years ago, the I-48 organization partnered with the Old Idaho Penitentiary to develop a film competition that highlighted the stories of the historic site, and 13 Stories was created. 13 Stories offers Idaho filmmakers a unique opportunity to create short films that explore and interpret the narratives of the Old Idaho Penitentiary, with the added benefit of shooting their films on location. All finished films are showcased in a 2-night screening and awards presentation held at the Old Idaho Penitentiary. Accepting the award for I-48 are co-directors Josie Poles and Andrew Ellis.
I've always wanted to have walk-up music. I'll be very quick because the introduction explained what we do. I do want to make 2 quick mentions, though, because there was this shout-out to Boise State as a College of Idaho alum. I do want to shout out a College of Idaho, which you go and get a theater and English and art degree, you end up, doing other things, but you also end up running film festivals. So, a great place to get an education. The other thing I wanted to do is to thank whoever organized this event for something that you may not have paid too much attention to, which is that this event was catered by an incredible local nonprofit, Life's Kitchen, which does exceptional work. Helping foster youth and other troubled youth learn a skill and get ready for the real world. So was very thrilled when I saw the Life Kitchen was here today. Anyway, we're here because the old state penitentiary staff approached us 5 years and made us an offer we couldn't refuse, which is they said, hey, would you solicit and recruit filmmakers to shoot at the old penitentiary? And I can tell you that it is the dream of basically every local filmmaker to shoot at the old penitentiary, because there is no better location in this town. And it is closed off to us, except for 13 stories. So when they approached and said, hey, would you allow us, would you recruit filmmakers to shoot films at the old state penitentiary? It was the easiest sell ever for Josie and I, and we were happy to partner with them. It is an incredible event. I would certainly urge all of you to put it on your calendar for September, second weekend, I believe it's going to be in September this year. Come out and see the movies. They're remarkable. They showcase what Idaho filmmakers have to offer. It captures history. It tells stories that are not often told about the folks who have gone through that facility. So we are so honored to be here. We feel sort of like the odd people out because, you know, everybody else, you do amazing things, and we run a film festival. But we are so happy to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Andrew, just remember, I'm a local TV celebrity, so if you need me, bake with us. Bake with us. Thank you. Our next award winner for 2024 Esto Perpetua Award is the Idaho Archaeological Society. The Idaho Archaeological Society, or IAS, has been a cornerstone in the preservation and understanding of Idaho's rich archaeological heritage since its inception in 1971. With a steadfast commitment to public education and professional scholarship, the IAS has played a crucial role in the study and interpretation of both prehistoric and historic sites across this great state. The Society's enduring partnership with the Idaho State Historical Society has fostered numerous initiatives, including volunteer programs, funding for scholarly publications, and the conservation of significant archaeological resources. The IAS dedication is also evident in their annual events and publications, such as the Idaho Archaeological Journal, which serves as a testament to the state's ongoing research and discoveries in the field. How many times you can put archaeology in this, okay? Moreover, the IAS's engagement in academic institutions and professional through initiatives like resume exchanges and scholarships underscores their commitment to nurturing the next generation of archaeologists, one more time, ensuring that Idaho's archaeological past continues to be explored and cherished. I made it. Okay. Accepting the award for the Idaho Archaeological Society is Craig Howard, President.
I'm an archaeologist, so thank you. So I went into archaeology not to be in front of people. So on behalf of the IAS, I'd like to thank the Historic Society for presenting us with this award. As you've noted, that IAS is, we've tried to foster a lot of we foster a lot understanding of of Idaho's archaeological record with the public, and we do that through a number of ways, including the IAS Journal, which you heard about, and one of our main flagship things is the Archaeological Fair, which brings people together, families together with archaeologists and introduces Idaho's rich archaeological past to people throughout the state. I'm just going to cut it short. I did have something prepared, but we said archaeology too many times. But I would like to, again, thank you on behalf of the Society for this award, and thanks.
Thank you, Craig. You say archaeological so much smoother than I do. Well done. Our next awardee for 2024 Esto Perpetua is the Idaho Commission on the Arts. In 1967, Governor Don Samuelson signed legislation creating the Idaho Commission on the Arts and Humanities. The Idaho Commission on the Arts is dedicated to bringing the arts to all Idahoans, preserving and celebrating the arts by supporting practitioners, artists, and individuals who carry forward cultural art forms and traditions. And can I say, as someone from Zions Bank, we do love art. If you've ever been to our art show, come check it out. We love art. The organization is committed to working with other state agencies to expand its reach and maximize resources. The Idaho Commission on the Arts is being recognized for their partnership with Idaho State Historical Society and their collaboration on various initiatives, including the Idaho Day Program, the Idaho Women 100 Initiative, which I see beautiful Emma right there on the screen, the Spirit of Idaho Women Sculpture, commemorating Idaho's women's suffrage, located on the Idaho Capitol grounds, and then the America 250, which is upcoming in Idaho. These efforts highlight the Commission's dedication to enriching Idaho's cultural landscape and historical awareness. Accepting the award for the Idaho Commission on the Arts is Laura Curry, Executive Director.
Well, art is a lot easier to say than archaeology, isn't it? Well, at the Commission on the Arts, we are very accustomed to bestowing honors, but we're not so used to receiving them. So when we got the news that we were going to be receiving this Esto Perpetua award, there was kind of a collective cheer that went up in our agency and with our commissioners. And I think our enthusiasm for this award is evidenced in our representation here this evening. With us, we have some of our commissioners, including our chair, who traveled all the way from Montpelier to be with us, and our former executive director, who is still in town, but we're so glad to have him with us here. We're incredibly honored to be recognized by the Idaho State Historical Society. It's an agency that we hold in high esteem. And at the Commission on the Arts, we work, as you said, to make sure that all Idahoans have access to the arts, arts education, and their cultural and artistic heritage. And our goal is to do this for every Idahoan. We are a relatively small agency, this is a lot of us up here. So we have 7 full-time staff members and 13 volunteer commissioners. So if you figure there are roughly 20 of us working to serve about 1.9 million-ish Idahoans, I think that's about right, we have our work cut out for us. And we get excited when we have the opportunity to work in partnership with another organization that's doing meaningful work across the state. These partnerships inspire us, and they help us leverage our resources so that we can serve more Idahoans. We see this award as recognition for the beautiful partnership that we have with the Historical Society. I don't know where Jan is, but we really appreciate that. And also recognition of the great things that can happen when we pool our resources and work together for a common goal. To all of the other recipients in the room this evening, congratulations to you. Thank you for the work that you're doing to make our lives better as Idahoans. If there's anything that arts could do to help you in your work, we would love to chat with you. And to the Historical Society, on behalf of our staff and our commissioners, thank you so much for this award. Thank you for the opportunity to be on the other side of the award podium. Feels pretty good, and we are grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Earlier tonight, Marianne did remind me, one of our wonderful trustees, that there are boxes at the table of those who have won. That's for your award. Put your award in there. Keep it nice and safe on your travels home. So that's where the box is there. Our next awardee for 2024 Esto Perpetua Award is the Idaho Department of Parks and Recreation. Let me tell you a little bit about them. The Idaho Department of Parks and Recreation manages 30 state parks, trails, and attractions throughout every region of Idaho. As stewards of Idaho State Parks, IDPR provides access to unique experiences in Idaho's natural settings and exceptional daytime recreation areas. IDPR works alongside the Idaho State Historical Society to preserve and provide access to historical resources throughout Idaho. Notable examples include Mission of the Sacred Heart in Coeur d'Alene, the Cataldo Mission, Rocky Point Lodge, Hayborn State Park, the Railroad Ranch in Harriman State Park, and part of the America 250 in Idaho initiative. IDPR is being recognized for its ongoing partnership with the Idaho State Historical Society and other entities, including the State Historic Preservation Office. In stewarding these historic architectural treasures, their efforts ensure that these state resources are preserved for future generations. Accepting the award for the Idaho Department of Parks and Recreation is Director Susan Buxton.
Thanks, everyone. And as I look out over this room, I see all the partners that we work with, and you make it possible for the State Department of Parks and Recreation to be successful in preserving over 600 facilities and almost 65,000 acres of parkland. And I won't go on to all the trails that we have too, but without all the help that we have from everybody, especially the Idaho State Historical Society and the State Historic Preservation Office, we wouldn't be able to do our jobs. Up with me today to accept the award on behalf of the board of the Parks and Recreation Department is our chairman, Brian Beckley, And I want to try and do justice to Melanie Schuster. Melanie Schuster is our architect extraordinaire. Without Melanie, we would not be able to take care of some of these facilities and actually be able to preserve them in the way that they need to be preserved, because they're very important. As the list you just heard, from Farragut to Harriman to Eagle Island State Park, which is the old prison farm, to, I can just keep going, Hayburn State Park, and on with the different facilities we have. We would not be able to take care of them without her expertise in the law, the architecture, the archaeological issues that we see all the time. And also want to really point out our thanks to all the tribes. Our facilities and our lands are all across our state. And without the help of the tribes and helping us look at how we preserve those parks, how we upkeep them, and how when we are doing any work that you're helping us look at those antiquities, look at those artifacts, how do we take care of them, and thank you all very much for being our partners. And also, Craig Quintana is our public information officer, and he does a great job trying to help us get the word out with our small, mighty team to get the word out about what we do with outdoor recreation and parks. Because of the pandemic, we have seen an increase of over 35% in outdoor recreation in the state of Idaho, and it is not slowing down. So I thank everybody, and I also want to thank the legislature, and I've got 3 legislators here who are super helpful to us. Wendy Horman, Matt Bundy, and Rick Just. Rick Just was also a former employee of the state park system, so he understands it very well and understands the struggles that you see from our parks department and how we work hard to stretch dollars very far. And the other people I want to really recognize is Alex Adams, whose first day as the Director of Health and Welfare was today, but he was the DFM administrator as our budget chief for the state. And now Lori Wolf is coming in his place, and we look forward to working with them, because without their understanding of what we need to do, we wouldn't be able to have Governor Little and the legislature help the park system actually address all of the deferred maintenance that has been seen and felt by parks that have been in our system for over 100 years. So with that, you will watch us take those monies and fix as much as we can and stretch as far as we can with the deferred maintenance, so that you and generations forward from my kids and yours will actually be able to enjoy all those facilities. So thank you, and we're very grateful for the award.
All right, Susan, I'm going to grab those papers back from you. I thought that was you again, Jan. That was good. That was good. Whew. Susan, if you want to come MC, I'd be happy to let you MC. That was funny. I'm running around. Where'd she go? Okay. Whew. That was close. Okay. This would have been one and done for me. Okay. All right. Our next 2024 Esto Perpetua Award winner is the Idaho Transportation Department. The Idaho Transportation Department was established by the Idaho legislature in 1974 and celebrates 50 years this year of operating and maintaining Idaho's transportation system. ITD has maintained a long partnership with the ISHS. This collaboration notably includes the State Highway Historical Marker Program, as Jan spoke about just a few minutes ago. The Historical Marker Project was initiated in 1956 by Idaho's former state historian, the late Dr. Merle Wells. The ISHS creates marker content and partners with ITD to create the markers themselves. ITD, ISHS, and the Idaho Department of Commerce began promoting the historical heritage of Idaho using these markers in 1965 as part of the Highway Beautification Act. This program is one of the oldest in the nation. ITD is partnering with ISHS to reimagine the entire highway marker program. As Jan began to tell us a little bit about, over the next 3 years, the project will replace existing markers with updated content, collaborating with many partners out there, and introduce 100 new markers addressing topics of the recent past. That is very exciting. The initiative will commemorate America's 250th anniversary and continue to benefit Idaho for generations to come. Accepting the award for the Idaho Department of Transportation is Wendy Terlizzi, ITD Environmental Services, and Mark Munch, the State Highway Archaeologist. Got it.
Thank you, and congratulations on 25 years of Esto Perpetua Awards. It's a wonderful way for the Idaho State Historical Society to recognize partnering historical and cultural organizations for their work in preserving, promoting, and educating Idahoans of our state's amazing and important history. I am Wendy Terlizzi, the Environmental Services Manager at the Idaho State Transportation Department. It is my honor to stand before you today and accept this award on behalf of ITD and my incredible team in environmental services. ITD's motto is your safety, your mobility, your economic opportunity, and we work tirelessly to help the traveling public safely navigate our great state. And most of those roadway signs you see out there tell people where they are. Thanks to our partnership with the Idaho State Historical Society, we can tell the traveling public not just where they are, but who they are and who we are as Idahoans. The state's Highway Historical Marker Program is one of the oldest in the nation, and we're proud to work with Idaho State Historical Society to continue the program improvement over the next 3 years, replacing old and damaged signs and adding new ones that highlight the rich, unique, and diverse history of what has made Idaho what it is today. These signs preserve our heritage for future generations and share the incredible local and regional histories that span every corner of the state. I want to extend my appreciation to the late state historian, Dr. Merle Wells, who was instrumental in the development of the Highway Historical Marker Program. You thought archaeologist was hard. That's a mouthful. To Keith Peterson and the Idaho tribes that have taken up the rewrite and revitalization of the highway historical markers. As future generations travel Idaho's highways, they'll learn about Idaho's past thanks to the highway historical markers and the important job that they do of preserving and sharing Idaho's history. Finally, I want to express my appreciation to the Idaho State Historical Society. Thank you on behalf of my team and ITD.
So many amazing partnerships promoting Idaho history. Congratulations. I believe there's one left. We made it. I'm excited about this one too. Our final awardee tonight for 2024 Esto Perpetua is Idaho Public Television. Idaho Public Television is a statewide, non-commercial broadcast, telecommunications system, and media provider based in Boise with additional staff facilities in Moscow and Pocatello. Idaho Public Television is being recognized for its continuous partnership with the Idaho State Historical Society in telling the stories of Idaho. Together they have worked on several significant projects, and may I mention a few of those. Idaho's Constitution Revealed, the restoration and conservation of Idaho's founding document. Idaho Experience, a series of stories of extraordinary people and defining events that have shaped Idaho's past and present. Notable episodes from the Idaho Experience series include Ahead of Her Time, Women's Suffrage in Idaho, an episode documenting the voting rights for women in Idaho. Idaho's Nuclear Navy, this was a recent one, exploring Idaho's contributions to naval nuclear technology. And then, of course, collaboration on the America 250 in Idaho. These films, which include original archival materials and resources drawn from the Idaho State Historical Society collections, exemplify the collaborative efforts of Idaho Public Television and the ISHS in preserving and promoting Idaho's rich history. And may I mention that Idaho Public Television was nominated this past weekend for 14 Emmys and won 3. Accepting the award for Idaho Public Television is Jeff Tucker, General Manager.
Woo, I've edited for time. Don't worry, I'll have you out of here in 25 minutes. Let me cut a few more things. And the funny thing is I'm the GM, and I have these on-camera people back there that didn't want to come up on stage. They all have their cameras out, though. Well, for almost 60 years, Idaho Public Television has been telling the story of Idaho through long-form documentary and high-quality journalism. But telling the story right starts with a solid foundation, and that's where Idaho's History Keepers, Idaho Historical Society, comes into play. Whether young at heart, young in age, born and raised here, or just moved here, everyone in Idaho needs to know their history, the history of our state. And so Idaho Experience, our ongoing history series, has solidified our partnership with Idaho State Historical Society, and the viewers have benefited from that collaboration. So our long-term visual storytelling brings Idaho's rich history alive, but we could not do it without the support of the Idaho State Historical Society and all of those individuals who care about the past, all of the staff of Idaho Public Television, Idaho State Historical Society, and everybody else who have been part of this tonight, because it really does affect the future. So on behalf of Idaho Public Television, I will cut my speech short to 25 minutes, and I will accept this award on our behalf. And you guys get to come up here.
Do you think I would have made Doug proud? Okay, all right. Thanks. What do you call that? Cheap applause? That was cheap applause. I'm sorry. Couldn't resist. We've reached the end of our program this evening. I'd like to take a moment and say thank you to all these partnerships. Idaho stories are not told without these partners. I want to thank the tribal leadership for journeying here today, for those who've come in from various parts of Idaho. from the various organizations. We want to thank you. I want to thank the governor and the first lady, and also to other dignitary senators who have come tonight. There's amazing work that's being done across the state. 25 years. It's pretty amazing. Let's look forward to 25 plus more years of celebrating all the accomplishments for those who are promoting Idaho history. We have a unique and special opportunity in the next few years to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the founding of our country. And with the America 250 in Idaho initiative, let's all take some time to promote that, to recognize, celebrate, and educate those on the rich history of Idaho. It's an unmatched history. On behalf of the Foundation of Idaho History and also the Idaho State Historical Society, I'd like to thank tonight Valiant Productions and Life's Kitchen for their support as well. And one final time, extend congratulations to all our 2024 Esto Perpetua Award winners. Good evening, travel safe, and thank you.